Okay then.
Yay.
Yay. Ta-da!
Good morning.
Oh my gosh, look, we're at the shop. Oh my gosh. Hello, and welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca.
We're out of practice, so bear with us. We're so used to being at home. Oh my gosh, finally got in. Okay, pigtails and mask are a little bit more of a challenge. There you go. Hi. What's it? Apparently,
my sweater is warm.
I know. Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber. And the sun's trying to come out. It's winter, Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there.
So yeah, tissues in the corner of the screen. I love it. No, it's fine. They can stay there. I don't, unless they're in your way.
They're not in my way.
So I think thinking about tissues is making my nose run. But hi. We were in for maybe a day and a half last week. So I'm out of practice. Yeah, I know you're cumulatively adding it up, right?
Yeah.
If you cumulatively add the hours up, we were in for 1 hour over a day. Yes, last week. Yesterday. The thing that means yesterday in my brain, which is last week. So, because we came in for 3 hours on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And Saturday we came in noon to 5. And usually we're here 10 to 5. So yeah, a day plus an hour.
Yeah, if you include the filming and everything, then it might have been.
Well, I'm talking about time in the shop where we have to do shoppy.
Here
like we have to be ready for customers.
Much longer than a day.
Yeah, but it was 2 days worth of driving to and from the shop.
Yes.
So I split the difference and say about a day and a half. Anyway, we'll argue about that more when we're done filming. We'll disagree. It's not an argument, it's disagreement. Somehow we have to get back in the swing of things today. We could start by talking about what we've worked on.
We could.
But even more exciting, some of our viewers are like, why haven't you mentioned this yet? Oh my gosh, they've been watching us all weekend. They've been watching our channel all weekend. We are at oh, I have my phone in my pocket. Let me see. Were you gonna look? You can look.
I can look.
She can double check me. We
I have
are
fewer
at
tabs to go through.
704 subscribers. That is super, super exciting, right? I'm looking at the YouTube studio, which is where like the back end, and sometimes the back end doesn't match the front end. So Liz is looking at the
what
public appearance that everyone else sees. And what are you seeing?
It's thinking.
Never mind. The good news is we're over 700. We did it, people. I should be more excited, but I'm tired. How is that not a thing?
So not
it's
a thing.
It's always a thing. I am actually super excited. I've been excited all weekend. We wanted to wait and like make sure that it stuck because numbers wobble sometimes. And so we hit 700 and people are like, yay, congratulations. And I'm like, hang on, slow your roll.
704. Yes.
Okay, we match. Awesome. So we've been telling y'all for weeks that if we hit 700, we have a sale. We did the same thing for 600, right?
Yeah.
Was 600 really? I feel like it was last April.
It was April.
So it's taken a little while, but we've gotten there to the next.
Because it was right before my birthday.
Yes, I remember it was birthday month.
We had like tons of sales.
They're like, but we already planned to sale, and we're like, whatever. Okay, fine. It's all good. People will pick one. So we promised one at 700, and I both can't believe and can believe it took this long to get there.
But like we started February like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So, and it took till April last year to get to 500.
No, that was 600
or 600,
wasn't it?
Yeah, April last year to get to 600.
I forget when we hit 500. I'm sure we did. We did some kind of sale too.
Yeah,
then, but
but 700, just it doesn't feel like it's been that long. I mean,
but
October is half a year.
We will disagree about this off camera. No, it's 11 interesting. Months. 11 months, but
or 10 and a little bit more or something. I don't know.
But we got the first 600 in 12 months. And then to get the next 100 took like 10 months. It's all good. It's interesting.
It's weird.
Because also when we look at our, like, not to get technical, but you know me, I like to get technical. We've started jumping. We used to only have about 100 views per video average, you know. Some people watching will be like, what? And some people are like, wow, you know. And now we're over that. We're like at 150 to 200. But that many subscribers are not all watching regularly. That's okay. We think they all should, but that's okay. No. So, okay. I have kept you in suspense long enough. I have already activated the code sale before filming this, and y'all won't see this for a couple hours anyway. You probably could have guessed the code because it's not that different than the last one. I think the last one was the same except different number. Sideshow word, and then 700 numbers. SIDESHOW 700 will get you 27% off because the last one was 26%.
Yep.
27% off in the online shop or in the shop, the physical shop. You have to mention you want the YouTube Sideshow 700 discount as you're checking out because we will forget. It's the way our brains work now. And I've decided for right now, this is going to be till the end of January. So you have a week, people. You have a week to take good advantage of this sale. We have some more products coming in during that week. If there's something you absolutely want and it says it's out of stock in the online shop, call us. We'll see what we can do. We might be able to work out, yes, you can pre-order at discount price. We might say, no, we can't get that back in, or we don't know. If we don't know if we can get it for you, we're not going to take your money.
Just wait. Hold on.
Yeah, don't wait until the last minute because that's on a day we're closed.
Yeah. The 30th and 31st are a Sunday and Monday.
Don't wait until the day that, you know, the last day of the sale and then go, oh, poop, and try to reach out to us. If you reach out before the very last minute, we'll work with you. If you leave us a message that we come in and get on next Tuesday, it gets hard.
Email.
We want to be all things to all people, and it's really hard. So, Sideshow 700. I'm not going to put it in the subscript under this video. You only get this code by watching. Although, since I said it at the beginning of this video, some people could turn off the TV right now and go online. And, you know, I have to respect that. We wish you'd hang out long with us, though. You know, it's all good.
You can come back after you go.
You can come back and watch the rest of this after you've gone and bought us out of stuff. I'm going to keep working to bring stuff in. There's some stuff like, if you looked around the shop right now, it would look like we have so much stuff. And yet I see the things we're out of.
If Rebecca looks around the shop, we're out of yarn completely. It's gone.
Because certain, like, this is the only skein of Cascade 220 charcoal in the entire shop.
Okay.
I haven't been able to.
So we're out of some colorways.
Yes.
But we have tons of yarn.
Yeah. Liz is right. However, if someone comes in wanting to make, in terms of our shop prices, an affordable DK weight charcoal gray sweater, I have to disappoint them because we don't have it. But yeah, I want to have everything in stock, and I have to make choices based on what we have available and what's in the bank. And it's just, yay, being a small business owner. Yay. Okay, enough of me moping. So what did you work on, Liz? Because I have a lot of stuff, but I don't want to take up all the time because Liz did really cool things.
So 2 Friday nights ago, I started my Regal Thistle Sweater.
Yes.
And it was fingering weight pattern on needles that should not exist. And I decided, no, I'm going to do it out of chunky yarn or bulky yarn on 10.5 needles. And there was discussion last week on our side-by-side shows that it might be a swan show. It could be too huge. I finished it before knit night, Friday night. So
And what
because
is
we were
that?
off.
What is that you're wearing, Liz?
It's my Regal Thistle Sweater.
Oh my gosh, look at that. It really kind of does look like a swancho, but not quite because it's cropped.
Yeah.
You know, like it's right in between all of those.
It's more sweater than poncho, but
honestly,
you know.
in terms of your style, it is glorious.
Yeah.
It is absolutely glorious. And you were wearing a dress. She's in her second purple dress to go with this sweater. They both go. I feel like the other one
was
lighter
just
purple.
a slight bit
So
better.
it like, you know, our friend Carol was like, it looks like you brought that dress in and picked out the yarn.
Yeah.
And she did.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. So it still goes. It's still
Yeah.
beautiful. Like, so did you not buy us out of
I bought us
this yarn in these colorways? So because this is Sugar Bush, no, Dawson. Sugar Bush Dawson, which we absolutely love, but Sugar Bush is no more. So what we have is what we have. And we had someone buy us out of several colors of Chill, which is the super bulky. But isn't that pretty? It's like a big overthrow, and then there's sleeves, and then it's just
there's
comfy
no
for you.
ends woven in.
I feel like you just flashed the audience knitting wise, but that's okay. because you know, this one that I'm not wearing today, this one I didn't have the ends woven in for the longest time, and it actually did bug me because they were in weird spots.
I do need to weave in a few ends just so they're not dangly,
weave in the ones that bug you.
Yeah.
The other ones, who cares?
I'm not worried about it. So.
And we had a discussion. I mean, you can stand or sit. I don't care at this point. It's okay. I think people can still see the glorious sweater. We had discussions about blocking.
Yeah.
And you have not blocked.
I have not blocked.
And you said, what about blocking?
I was going to block and I didn't, and I probably won't. And it's super bulky and it's just fluffy and happy.
Well,
and it could help.
It's bulky. I mean, you mean the size of it?
Yeah.
See, this is where things get, no, it's okay. This is where things get weird for us because we have our language for yarn and then our language about what we've made. Ooh. And I just didn't want to confuse anybody at home.
So it is stranded color work in bulky weight, which means
the size of it is how it came out. Not
when you put the two strands together, it is really thick.
Yeah,
especially through the color work.
Honestly, I mean, and we talked about this when we were here on Saturday. Like the stitches could settle a little with blocking, but like my stitches on this settled quite a bit, but it still looked good before blocking.
Yeah.
And it still looks good. Like I have other sweaters I have never blocked and they're fine. They're absolutely
probably
fine.
Won't. So, like since I didn't, I probably won't.
Yeah.
Like, because
she's cozy in it right now.
It's cozy.
You know.
Gonna get overheated. So
yeah, so one of the reasons I wanted you to show it off in case you weren't gonna keep it on the whole. Yeah.
No, wait.
Maybe. You have my permission to take it off if you want. So what else have you worked on?
Put my sleeves on stitch holders on needles for my Twilight sweater. I finally got the bottom of it. It's all cropped.
Oh, so that's done. The bottom's
done. It'll be another crop tighter fitting. Yeah, it'll be a tighter fitting sweater, but it's so soft and like
because what's the what's the yarn in it?
It is all Barocco Ultra Alpaca,
which is what I'm using for one of my sweaters. We'll talk about later if there's time.
It almost looks like a ski bunny sweater. Swish.
Because you're gonna be a ski bunny, huh?
No.
And we can pretend though. We can dress up and pretend.
Yeah. Yeah. Saturday night after we got done at the shop, I had been percolating over the sweater that I really, really wanted.
She was drooling over this. She had to start this.
I found a sweater on Pinterest. It is in a Ravelry project. There is no sweater pattern for it.
Liz has sent me the link so I can put it up in the description. Yeah, I'll have to figure it out for yourself.
So what she did was she took a thistle pattern from a free sock pattern that's in her project notes and put that into an existing sweater chart. And then it's this gorgeous black sweater with these white thistles, and they, oh my gosh, I was like, I have to have this sweater. That's going to take way more brain power than I have. But Saturday I went home and I was like, I'm going to do it.
She put her brain power into overdrive, people, because she made charts.
I redrew it and drew it and redrew it and drew it. And so for me, I took an existing
You
pattern.
numbered it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I took the existing chart for this sweater that I knew fit me in
And
the
everyone's
gauge
like,
and
just
everything.
what the, you keep waving it around. Hold it up.
I
Sorry.
will. Hold on.
I'm being the interior monologue of people watching at home.
So this is,
They
you
can't
can't see it. This is the chart without anything in it for this sweater.
Like the chart with the increases.
With
you mean?
yeah,
Okay.
and then
How to increase top down on a yoke and have it be balanced. Okay.
this is the sock pattern. And so you have to merge these
And
two
she says
together.
she doesn't like math.
I don't like math. And then this was an attempt that didn't work.
I don't spend this much time on my stuff.
I wanted this
I know.
sweater so bad.
It's where's your I don't
And-
care bar? Usually Liz's I don't care bar. That's upside down.
I know, because
But that's okay because you're going
anyway.
that direction. All the other ones you held. Okay. Just
that's
yeah.
the final pattern.
Sweaters, when you knit this way, you do the pattern, you do the charts upside down. But your I don't care bar for most projects is down here. And your I don't care bar for this
This one.
passion project is up
I
here.
wanted this sweater
Awesome.
so bad. So I had placed an order with Apothecary, who's one of my Apothecary and Daydream Dye Works are my like two favorite indie dyers.
We
And
don't have apothecary
don't.
here in the shop. We have thought about it. It just hasn't been able to happen yet.
But I
She's
had
really
some
good.
of her yarn already, and I had ordered some before I even thought about this pattern. I was like, well, I'll probably need 2 skeins of that. So I have one. I'll order a second one. Life will be fine. And then as I'm winding yarn on Saturday, I'm standing there winding, because the winder's left-handed. And I look across the shop, and this yarn, this blue yarn that Rebecca special ordered for somebody else's sweater.
I did.
Yeah, it's the Legion blue. Yeah.
Oh.
Is sitting there staring at me, calling
hope
to me,
They don't
going,
need any more.
well, no, there's 3 skeins left.
Oh, never mind.
Is sitting there calling to me, going, I would look gorgeous with that pink you have at home. And I was like, yes, you would. And so after I finished winding the first ball out of 2, I walk over, I grab 2 balls of the blue and I put it on the counter. And Rebecca's like, are you shopping? We have work to do. And it was busy Saturday. Busy.
Some of that was not said aloud, but was implied.
Yeah. And I looked at her and I was like, it was screaming at me to buy it.
All
and
I
I
know
needed
is
to put it on the
she's
counter.
winding yarn, and then there's yarn on the counter, and I'm
Okay.
like, what?
So
I think I only said,
what
"Are you
doing?
shopping?"
Yeah.
or "What are you doing?" The rest was tone and body language. I have no problem with that. It's all good. Whatever. Go ahead.
So Sunday morning, after I finished getting my chart all organized, and then I was like, oh crap, I've messed up my chart, but it wasn't too bad. I had to go back to the chart and tweak a few things, and then life got fine. I started my thistle sweater.
That's really pretty.
It's top down, so
So the thistles
The
are upside down
thistles
while
are
you're
upside
knitting,
down while
but
I'm
then
knitting, but-
they're there. I think it's jammed on the needle, so
Yeah.
it's but it's pretty. It's really pretty.
and I'm just over halfway through the chart, and I have 14 grams of pink left. Thank goodness I have more coming.
And that's a
So-
really great example of like what you're wearing is a great example of 2 solids
Mhm.
doing color work, and
Mm-hmm.
what you're knitting, and so is the Twilight we showed off with
Yeah.
multiple solids. What you're knitting is a really great example of a solid with like a tonal variegated.
Yeah.
More tonal than anything.
It's tonal and speckled. Like
Mhm.
there are specks of just.
But
it's
there's
awesome.
enough contrast with the solid yarn that it really, can you hold it up one more time? It really shows off really, really well. And it adds a little bit of life to it to have that tonality there. So, and that's why when I look around the shop, I see all the things we're out of, because there are things that would do that. kind of. Nothing will quite do what Apothecary's yarn does because it's really pretty.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But you know, it's the nice thing of if you get a small amount of hand dye, you can go and get a staple like Cascade Eco or the Eco Merino or whatever to pair them with to make.
That's why I want to do color work. One day I will get around to a color. I have so many color work yoke things, you know, on needles or finished or whatever. I want to get around to doing one where one is color changing like Feederbrook or Perth, and one is solid because it'll look like either that I had lots and lots of different colors of yarn going, or it'll just fade really pretty.
Yeah.
Like you were asking last week or this weekend, like what's a passion project to work on? Because I was down. I was having a moment. I have a lot of those lately, you know, on the whole, I'm doing okay, but I have my moments. So, and I'm like, nothing I have yarn at home for, but I think there's a couple different things that I would like to start now that I finished a project, which I'll tell you about in a second. At some point, that new Jennifer Steingast sweater is calling my name because it had, I forget the name of it. I think it's Avena, something like that. It's not just straight out color work that just kind of classically goes out from the neck. It looks like it swoops. It's really pretty. And yes, I have 2 Jennifer Steingast sweaters done in the shop, but
You kind of like, and
I do
that's
like
okay.
her patterns. I do like her stuff.
She has gorgeous.
Yeah.
I was scrolling through looking at. Every now and then I'm like, ooh, I should do another color sweater after I started this one, and just scrolling through all of the sweaters, I'm like, oh my gosh, could you people stop? Like, I like them all,
and I want to say it's worsted weight. Like I could do a DK or worsted weight for it, and like it wouldn't take forever. Like the fingering weight one of hers I just did. So, you know,
I do have to say that
I should probably finish a sweater first though.
In addition to the extra skein of pink, I have some more skeins of a color that I want to use to make the watercolor sweater. Like I was
watercolored sweater by Tiff Nealon.
Yeah.
It's chunky, and she does it by holding 2 DKs together for a lot of it, I think. But you could also do it out of a chunky / bulky. I mean, I put it in the newsletter this week. Think how fast that could go. You know, it's
I have to bring it in,
and it's a very used sweater.
To it, because I'm
bulky.
Gonna do it all out of bulky.
The yarn size,
because I have a gorgeous colorway that it's variegated and speckled, and it's more than this. But
yeah. Tiff Nealon did it with a like the solid after the yoke work is done is like speckled and variegated, and it's really pretty.
And I think she held 2 different colors to kind of shift some of the colors.
And it marls and
it marls and stuff.
Like some of our hand dyes, which when Daydream dyes them, we don't have a ton of them, could be really pretty in this, but I don't want to use up before we order from her again.
But I think the color that I have will look like that marled color. And then I just need to pick a yoke color. But I keep looking at that pattern going, I'm not going to do another one. I have my thistle, I have my Twilight, I have my thistle. And I keep looking at it going, but it's bulky and it's faster. And
it's the fascination with sweaters is real during this pandemic. I feel like I like sweaters before, but like I've knit so many sweaters in the past 2 years. Holy crap. Like I look around here and a lot of these I've done since COVID started. And like I did one in 8 days for crying out loud. And now it's like, now the struggle is how do I show them all off to people? That part of that is I'm going to try to rotate as much through them as I can on this show, because otherwise they end up in a pile. So, or a neatly folded pile.
Well, now we each have a sweater that took us about a week to do. And so.
I want to say my ranunculus took a week or less, but it's on size 10 needles, and it was short sleeves, and I'll show that all off to you sometime. Well, actually, it doesn't matter if it's winter or spring or summer, or because it's somewhat climate controlled in the shop.
We might have to plan a day we wear our ranunculi, because
we've done that before. We could do it again. So if someone doesn't want to go back and watch all almost 200 episodes of the sideshow, not counting the VSC. We could just do it again.
Yeah.
So, you know, but no, I have to, so now I have to look up what it's called, but the one from Jennifer Steingass is, oh, by the way, the watercolored is on my problems. It's on my phone right now. Look at that. It's so pretty, and so is she in it. It's on my phone because I was looking it up for, I think, for Knit Night or something. I put it in the newsletter, but that's on another computer. So I'm gonna look in my, oh, it's probably in my library. I think I've already bought it on Ravelry. Yes, it's called Avena or Avena. I don't know, but this is the Jennifer Steingass.
You have been in love with that since you saw it.
Since it was published.
Yeah.
And here's the thing is it's written for two, like the contrast she wants you to do, like my Golden Fern was written for 3 contrasting colors that would shift to make it fade. And this is written for 2. And I'm really torn between trying to find 2 contrasts to do that fade the way she has it written, since I haven't done that yet, or just use like a feeder brook. Because I've been wanting to use a feeder brook for a while.
Is it? It's DK.
It is. So I'm torn. I'm really, really torn. I will figure this out at some point. If you all have thoughts, you can let me know. I may or may not go with your thoughts, but I would love to hear them. So
I have some ideas.
She's got thoughts. Usually I end up doing what she wants because she has good color ideas. We'll see. Every once in a while, I still do what I want.
Yeah.
You know. So I finished the project.
Yay.
And I blocked it even. I haven't woven the ends in because there's only 2 because it was a 1 skein shawl. But I did a blocking video for a crescent shaped shawl because I finished my I can hold it all up. I mean, she can help me hold it up too. Maybe we'll see. This is my Shimmering Pearl all blocked. Okay, fine.
Well, it was.
You want to help?
It was dangly over there.
Okay. This is my Shimmering Pearl blocked.
It is awesome.
I ended up getting it. It's probably a good 6 feet across block. This is 1 skein of fingering weight yarn, people. Aggressively blocked, I might add. So it was not this big when I finished it. If you want to go to the video, you can see like it's gonna shrink up a little bit because I just took it off the needles just a little bit ago. And it's still kind of fluffing back into shape. But she said for hers, like the end lace section on this down here, she said it's 7 rows, and she's like, keep going until you have just enough to bind off. And she's like, it took me 4 grams to do hers. And since you're doing more rows, it's getting longer. So I decided when I had 8 grams left, I did bring home a scale, that I was going to start binding off. It only took me 4 grams because I have 4 grams left. I could have yarn chickened and seen if another 2 rows. I think at that point, 2 rows was taking me about 4 grams, but it could have taken me a little more. I could have run out of yarn. I decided to be safe and just bind off. But isn't this fantastic? This is 1 skein of the Perth Lake Gardner.
It looks like a pearl.
It's got all these like super light pinks and greens in it that, you know, if you're not a pink and green fan, I don't think this will upset you. But I wore my striped sweater because I figure once I showed y'all this beautiful fun thing,
it looks so pretty,
then I could wear it today and it would kind of go. So you could see how crescent shaped shawls don't end up being super deep. So if you're going to wrap it around your shoulders, it's not going to go deep on your back. They're really great for decorative scarf wearing like this. They're great if you just need a little something around your shoulders, if you're in air conditioning or something. I'm excited to see how, you know, the new life this will have as my most recently finished shawl. So I think it almost blends too much with the sweater because the sweater is neutral and dark. But I think it would be really great against something vibrant. I almost put on my my Jennifer Steingass today. So maybe I'll wear this against my Jennifer Steingass like tomorrow or Thursday. So you can see how it pops against that. But it was really, really fun and not super complicated. It's mostly garter, and then there are those lace sections that you can see in here. And so it was really, really fun. And I'm so glad I finished it though, because now I feel like I have a little less of an overwhelming works in progress. But I'm about to start probably 1 or 2 more projects. So, that's life.
As one does.
As one does. So let me take you through other things I worked on and made some progress on before we have to wrap up today. So I am in section, so 1, 2, 3. I'm in section 4 of my echo point. I feel like I have this like muted theme going on with my color, except I have other things I can show off that aren't muted. I just added my oatmeal in my echo point, and the oatmeal is the center color, so it's going to work back out again. I would keep getting up and sitting down, but my knees are not happy with me today. I'm getting older. That's not pleasant.
It's Monday.
I did a whole lot of shoveling last week, and my knees are now like, what did you do to us? So I've just started putting in the oatmeal. My sea glass here, I'm doing stripies with, and then I'll be done with that color for a little bit. And then it'll work back out. Remember, this is our knit along right now. You can get 25% off the Echo Point by Lisa Mutch, the Echo Point pattern with the, if you buy it directly from her on Ravelry, with the code Sun Dragon KAL for knit along.
And if you're worried about starting late or whatever, I'm not even barely into section 2 on mine. So
it's going to be going on for a while.
Well.
I'm trying to do a section a week. It's going to hit a point where if I keep working on other projects, it'll be hard to do a section a week because the rows are getting longer. So you'll probably surpass me. You'll probably catch up and overtake me. It's all good. So this has been a lot of fun, I will say. It's not super complicated, but it also, there's times where you have to pay attention, so other things I've made progress on just a little bit because I've had a lot of stuff to do lately. I'm gonna hang on to this guy for just a second because I'm super excited, speaking of sweaters, that I made a little more progress. This is like my only bottom up sweater. I'm super excited. I'm trying not to have it come off the needles. That I've made a little more progress on my polyrhythm. Do you see that? I have 3 little, like I'm calling each of these a brick row. Like they're rows of, they're sections of 8 rows that make, and each time you do 8 rows, you shift patterns. And I finished my 3rd. And this one had a lot of the checkerboard in it, which was really, really fun.
Now, quick question.
Yes.
For those that are wondering how you count rows in color work.
Yes.
It's different than counting rows in.
It's different than counting rows since like the beginning of your project.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, like after ribbing or from the beginning up, you won't count the row that's on your needles in terms of like when you're measuring or how many rows have I done. For color work, the row that's on your needles is a row of the color work. That's a really good point that Liz is bringing up. So if I counted right here, and I know this is teeny tiny for you all on the screen, I would start with this blue here and I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I would count the one on my needles because once I knit my next row, that falls down below and it'll look out of place if I don't count that. So that helps me stay on track. It's a very good point. Counting rows since the beginning of something, of how many rows of like a stitch pattern have I done? I don't count what's on the needles. I know it sounds weird, but that in some ways that does make sense because if I do like 5 rows of knit 1, purl 1, the knits and purls that I've done are underneath. What's on the needle is going to be transformed by what I do next in terms of stitch and texture, that kind of thing. But in terms of color, what's on the needle is part of your color work pattern. So yes, little confusing until you get the hang of it. But I'm super excited to do the next row of this. And just, this is just going to be kind of a side project going as I can. I'll try to do like a chunk every now and again. And eventually I will have the coolest sweater ever. I mean, all my sweaters are cool. All my other sweaters are listening. They're not cooler than you. You're all unique and special in different ways. So what?
Sit after my thistle sweaters.
It's not a competition.
Unless you're winning.
So yes. So I agree. No. Anyway. And then this one, I've just kind of like been obsessed with this one a little bit lately. And I think because it's not fingering weight, and maybe I have a shot of finishing it eventually, because a lot of my shawls right now are fingering weight. My Rosa Canina. I also wanted to get it to where it's just cables for like the rest of it. And this part up here is the beginning of the just cable section for a while. So it looks like the rest of the cable sections. And the colors are so busy. I have broken my own rules of busy yarn. Usually it's busy yarn, simple pattern, simple yarn, busy pattern. This is a busy yarn with a busy pattern. And I go back and forth between liking it and not liking it in terms of that. I am having a lot of fun with the colors of this Feederbrook colorway because there's fiery hot and then there's muted. It's really funky. And the last skein I have of it, so I have this much left of my second skein. It is, wait, zero this out. Nope, zero. Take it. I have 13 grams left of my second skein. And then the third skein is like, I think it's an older batch of this. So we'll see if it goes or not. And if it doesn't go, it's really okay. But you can see how as it's getting wider, the colors are changing at a different rate. From the beginning of this, as it's getting wider. And we'll see how what that does with the cables. If anything, it might make the cables a little harder to see. But I love cables anyway. I don't care. In my newsletter this week, Kay Hopkins has some really nice braided cable hats that I put up because I'm like, yay, knitting for snow wear, because we still have a little snow left outside. I love cables. I'll do them all the time, no matter what. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm really excited to be in the fun part of this. So I stayed up last night working on this. I think right now that's it, because I haven't made more progress on my zigzag for the moment. But I'm really get this off. I'm really excited that I finally finished this.
I love the colors. I love how it blocked out and like all the, oh, I love that. Now I have to think of something with like Gardner, just because it's fun. It
could make a really cool like, zigzag with something else, but that's teeny tiny needles for you.
And I like the fact that, you know, your pearlescence, it looks like the inside of a clamshell and the pearl and everything. Like,
it's fun colorway.
Perfect.
In terms of a neutral, it's a really fun colorway. So I have all these hopes and dreams, and I want to make dragon mittens too. I have lots of things I want to do. So we'll see. So
if we get bored today, guess what we're doing?
Plotting, you know. I took 17 packages to the post office yesterday. So thank you all. And that was on top of the 8 we took Wednesday. And we still have about 5 or 6 to go here. And we have shop pickups and things. So I would say we did somewhere between 30 and 40 sales during the week plus that we were snowbound, and the weekend that followed and everything. So thank you all so much. We do have the bigger sale right now, which is at least going on for a week. And so remember, Sideshow 700. If what you want is not in stock on the website, try contacting us, but also know we may or may not be able to swing it for this sale. That just means you should help us get to 800 subscribers, because then we'll have an even slightly itty bitty bigger sale when we hit that. That's our new goal now. It's gonna take a while. Yeah. Let's see if it takes another 10 months. But thank you all for your support. If you don't need yarn right now, you can always go over to patreon.com/sundragon if you would like to support that work that we do. And you can pick a monthly subscription to benefit the shop, basically. So, but it's not necessary. It's just kind of nice when we get a new patron, we're like, yay! We love all our subscribers, and we love everyone who comes to Knit Night, and we love everyone who watches here and chats with us, because some people are commenting from all over the world, and that's really fun. So our schedule tonight is Knit Night, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern time in the US, with the shop phone number on Zoom to get in.
828-877-3550.
And then tomorrow is the VSC. I guess we actually have to pick other things to be on sale.
Yeah, we probably should pick other things to be on sale.
Although you all, you can't combine codes. So you all, if you're watching and know the code for the 27% off, I'm like, which one are we at? Yeah, that's right. You all can save more regardless with the sideshow sale code. But you want to throw us a bone, just use the VSC code of product of the week on whatever we talk about tomorrow. But we'll talk about stuff in the shop that you might be like, oh yeah, I forgot that was there. Let me go buy it. And then Thursday is Dear Becky and Lizzie. I don't think we have anything right now, but y'all know we can talk about something. But if you have questions for us, mostly that pertain to knitting or
I
crocheting.
think we're just gonna kind of run out of stuff to talk about. No.
We'll find something to talk about.
We we might talk about Fair Island cables.
That is a dream of Liz's. We can discuss that if you want. Let us know.
I don't even know how you would do that.
Thursday we'll talk about something if we don't have any questions.
Yes.
But if you have questions for us at this point, I would email her.
Liz at sundragonartandfiber.com.
And then we'll talk about it on the show. You can also send us a card if you want, but it probably won't get on this week's show. That is Dear Becky and Lizzie, Sun Dragon Art and Fiber, 35 South Broad Street, Brevard, North Carolina, 28712. I have to say it all at once or else I forget. And then Friday, we have another knit night from 7 to 9 p.m. So our next Sunday virtual sit and stitch. And I think I have a way to deal with Zoom bombers that should be better in case that happens again. I mean, it's happened twice in 2 years, 2+ years. But the Sunday virtual sit and stitch on both Facebook Live and Zoom, the next one's going to be February, I want to say 13th is the day I picked. It was 4 weeks from the last one. So yeah. Anyway, we got to go open the shop. We love y'all. Come visit us if you can. Bring a mask or grab one at the door. Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 5. And we'll see who comes today. There's still snow on the plaza, by the way. It's just not blocking our entrance. So, it's going to take a while. Bye, everybody. My mask is here somewhere. There we go. Bye.